Hey everyone, SweetJohnnyCage here, back with another guide for Final Fantasy XVI. This time I'm going to show you how to take down the Necrophobe. The Necrophobe is a really difficult boss. He has a lot of health and deals a lot of damage, and when he's low on health, he's going to string together attacks including dual cast with any magic, and then he's also going to follow that up with some pretty damaging physical attacks. When the boss fight starts, he will typically fly right towards you, and then next up, he's going to take out this pretty cool-looking sword and swing it at you. After that, he sort of spins around and sort of loads a gun and starts shooting you. Bosses in this game are insane. You'll notice here, though, that he is sort of cycling through elemental magic attacks, and that's very important to remember. This boss has 4 orbs around him. I'm pretty sure each one of those represents an element, and then he's able to string them together with different attacks. So I only bring that up just so you're aware of it. You can't really do anything about it, but it's just sort of where it comes from. So we have a 50% stun on the boss here. We pull him down using Deadly Embrace. I always like to follow that up with Judgment Bolt because that deals about 25% will damage on most bosses, and then we can continue on. That sword attack, I have some difficulty dodging it early on in this fight because it has such a strange timing. He delays it so hard that it's difficult to pick it up, but you just want to pay attention to his hand, and once his hand starts moving towards you, that's when you can go in. In Phase 1, he really just sort of cycles through fire, lightning, and ice. That's really it, but eventually he will do more, and he'll also start dual casting. So now that we have a full stun on the boss, you want to unleash everything you have on him: Flames of Rebirth, Ignition, Aerial Blast, Limit Break, everything. Don't forget to include Torgal in the mix by pressing up on the D-pad, provided you don't have the accessory that makes him auto-attack. Elemental Dissonance is just a big AoE attack, sort of a stun. He'll follow that up while flying towards you, so you can easily dodge that, especially using Rook's Gambit. Shouldn't be too difficult. He'll then cast Firaga. This will send out orbs that look like they're just going to shoot out infinitely, but they actually only go a few feet and then start rotating around him. So the best course of action with that attack is to actually get close to him, dodge through the first orb, and then just stay near him, and you won't have to worry about it. With his Ice Sword, it has a lot of swings on it, so you need to be very, very careful with when you dodge. You don't want to dodge until he has flown behind you and is standing above you, and then he's going to swing again. So you don't want to dodge until that swing. We have a 50% stun here again, so now we're just unloading into him and trying to break that will damage again. So here's Firaga. I didn't learn my lesson yet, and I'm actually nearly going to eat a second orb, but again, you just want to try to be close to him, and then you'll be okay. So with Rook's Gambit there, Rook's Gambit provides a lot of invincibility frames, and even if you do not get the precision Rook's Gambit, like you don't get the cinematic dodge, you are still invincible. So using Rook's Gambit on the first hit of that long sword sequence is generally pretty safe. You'll be safe the whole time, but I knew that he was about to be stunned, so I knew that if I hit it once, he was just going to go down, so that's why I used it there. When you see the message Dark Energies swirl, you need to get in the boss's face and unleash everything you have on him. You need to prevent this cast from going off, otherwise you're going to die. Now, I did use Aerial Blast here, and I kind of regret it because it makes this so chaotic and so difficult to see what is going on. The boss will put lightning circles on the ground. They will eventually get struck by bolts of lightning, and then that will deal damage, so you need to pay attention to the floor, get out of any circles, and you also need to be aware that the boss can use Firaga during that time, which can be difficult to dodge. At this stage of the fight here, let's call it Phase 3, he can use elemental magic to buff his weapon. So when it says End Firaga, End Thundaga, End Blizzaga, that is when he's going to start to power up his sword, do a big elemental attack, and then follow up with a pretty devastating sword swing. So his regular melee attacks now end in a beam, which is quite difficult. This attack sort of stays the same. Just wait till he's above you, and then you want to dodge when he starts swinging. You don't want to dodge too early. Dual cast Blizzaga is exactly what it sounds like. It's going to shoot a Blizzaga beam at you twice. So be very careful with dual casts, especially when it comes to Firaga, because there's going to be so many orbs. It's really difficult to deal with. You just want to be very careful. Try to get a precision dodge through the orbs so you can stay on the boss, and you don't have to worry about it too much. All right, so we have the N Blizzaga blade there that ends with a beam. Again, difficult to dodge. It's got 4 hits, and he does sort of come back on you. Really, really deadly attack there. So we've got another full stun. Do the full cycle, all the magic, all the limit breaks, sick Torgal on him over and over. I am going to hold off on casting Aerial Blast at this point, just because I was sort of afraid he was going to do that big devastating attack again, and I didn't want to sort of get lost in that attack like I did last time. CC there, I didn't get the precision Rook's Gambit, but it still kept me invincible the whole time, and I was able to get out without taking any damage. So this is N Thundaga. A lot of lightning blasts. The boss flies towards you, but again, not too difficult, not too much to worry about there. N Thundaga is definitely the easiest one to negotiate because it's more of an AoE attack rather than a direct attack. So we have the 3-hit combo there. I ate that entire thing. A little unfortunate, but it's okay. All right, so the boss is coming in with this N Blizzaga beam there. That's really tough for me to dodge. The timing on that is so rough. So we have dual cast Firaga. Again, so many orbs, but as long as you stay close to the boss, you should be okay. And then if you have him pinned up against the wall, it can be very difficult to dodge his flight attack because he sort of lifts up and takes off at the same time. And it really only happens when he's against the wall. When he's mid-screen, you have a bit more time to react to it, but yeah, it's just difficult when he's up against the wall. So try to keep him towards the middle. So we have a 50% stun here. Luckily, it happened just as he was about to swing. There was no way I was going to dodge that, but luckily we were able to take him down in stylish fashion using a Judgment Bolt. So again, it's a hard fight. It's very frantic, especially when dual cast is going off. There's so much to negotiate with, but I just recommend staying close to the boss. This way, the spells, they don't necessarily go through you, but when you dodge, you just have a wider berth when you're finally getting away from it. Whereas if you're in the distance, chances are you're going to dodge into it or you're going to get clipped on the shoulder, by the edge of a beam or something. So just stay close to the boss and you should have an easier time. But that's it. All right, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment. I'll do my best to help you out. If you're looking for more guides for Final Fantasy XVI, please subscribe to the channel so you get alerted when new guides go live. If you're interested in supporting the channel monetarily, please consider becoming a channel member by clicking the join button below this video. You can also leave a super thanks by clicking the heart icon below this video. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and join my Discord. The links are in the description below. As always, I'm SweetJohnnyCage. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.